work is appreciated. So if that is what you do, take a step out of your comfort zone and see what it brings to you. Because I realize even when I go to the jazz festivals, they're 50-50.
Oh yeah.
They're mixed with everybody. And when people like what you have, it doesn't matter where you come from, where it comes from. They like and appreciate what you have.
Well, we are here today with Sonia Williams on another episode of Show You the Business. So, Sonia and I met a while back, but Sonia is a world traveler. She's a veteran whose career includes work as an Army helicopter pilot, DJ, electronics specialist, and a train conductor. Oh, I mean, you talk about all the different things you do, Sonia, which you're an expert in. But where are you really from? Because you got that accent. I'd love to know.
I was born in England, in London. I'm an East Ender. I was born in East London, Leighton, and my parents are from Jamaica.
My dad was from Jamaica as well. What part of Jamaica?
My father is from Troy. They're both from Trelawney.
Okay,
My mother is, sorry, I should say was from Falmouth. My parents
gotcha,
are from Falmouth. Yes.
gotcha. Jamaica is a beautiful place for sure.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love to go. Oh,
Now, Sonia, when did you get to the U.S.?
I came to the US when I was 17, about 3 weeks before my 17th birthday in 1976.
Okay,
Yes, there
wow.
I tackled high school. Let me tell you, it was a great feat. Okay. The transition from a British school to an American school. So,
I see. Okay.
yes.
So you spoke the Queen's English, and now all of a sudden you're here in America.
Yes, and it was funny because, people would talk to me and they'd say, psych. And I was like, what does that mean?
That's okay. It took me a long time to understand what a wanker was. So
Yeah,
there you go,
well,
Sonia.
like
Like, what's
it
that all about? That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, Sonia, you and I met a few years back, and at that time, you were actually selling security systems for a company, and we met through BNI, which so far my audience does know. I hope that BNI is a network referral group. So that's how we got into it. But eventually you changed and you decided that you were going to showcase your art. So tell me, Sonia, how did you get into that?
um, I've always loved art.
Mm.
And when I got my first apartment in my early 20s, I was able to purchase a couple of really small pieces of art, and it was so expensive to frame. I went to the shop and I learned how to frame it myself, and
Mm.
easy, you get a little mat, you get a frame, and it really it went from there.
Okay.
So to start, to do what I do today, um, it was no easy feat, but I went to the West Indian Day Parade in the Labor Day Parade in New York with my cousin who came from England and insisted we go there. Okay.
Brooklyn, Brooklyn.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
I picked up a little Asian elephant's head and I brought it home and it looked so tiny on the wall.
Yes.
So I'd seen shadow boxes before, so I went to Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and they didn't have anything big enough. And
Mm.
I decided that I was going to try and create something myself. It took days of putting together and pulling apart, but finally I made a shadow box, and it was so gorgeous. I hung it on my wall, I framed it and everything. And friends would come by and say, "Oh, Sonia, that's beautiful. I have a mask at home. Could you do that for me?"
Wow.
And there Sonia's handcrafted art was born. Okay,
Awesome.
so that 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 put me on that road.
Awesome. Now, do you happen to have any examples, Sonia? Just out of curiosity. I know I didn't ask you for any.
I think I might be able to come up with something.
Let me help you there. There
Let
we go.
me see. I'm looking at my okay, let me see. I'm going to go into art and let me see what I have. I believe I do have a couple of nice pieces. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I see your artwork all over town, and I see the pictures of them. I see the actual artwork. We had a gala a couple of years ago, and everybody was raving about you were one of the vendors, and everybody's raving about your artwork. One of the things that I know for myself is that I've tried to get some nice ethnic art and I've never really been able to find anything really good. And you come up with the most beautiful pieces in a shadow box. And I do need to get one of your pieces. You remind me that I haven't bought anything yet.
Okay,
Now
I will continue to remind you.
I know,
Here's
right?
one of
And
my pieces.
anybody who knows, see, I love that. I was just about to say that what I love are prime colors. So this one I see it's an elephant head and you have fabric around it and it's got
Yes.
that red fabric. Is this something you have right now, Sonia? Something available?
I have something, not that piece. That piece is
Okay,
sold, and I don't do any two pieces the same. But I
gotcha.
do have something beautiful, just as colorful, and but it's in the same type kind of frame, but it's in a diamond shape.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
it's red and black and it's very very beautiful.
Yeah, this
So yeah, so
th
this is what I do.
mhm.
And
Tell me a little bit about this particular piece, Sonia.
well, this piece is it depicts a West African elephant,
Mm,
and as you know, elephants denote wisdom, loyalty, courage, and it's one of my best sellers. And almost I can't keep an elephant piece. All these pieces they sell very quickly.
yes.
And it's the elephant that really that draws people in, and maybe some of the music pieces that I do. But with each piece comes a certificate of authenticity, which has the name of the piece, if it has to be named, the origin, and a little bit about the piece.
Okay,
So
okay.
this, yes.
Now, this fabric, this isn't anything I can find at the local Joanne's fabric store. What's going on there? What is that?
Yes, this fabric is African fabric, and
Mm,
I have distributors throughout Jersey and New York that I will pick up. And when I do art shows, if there's African vendors, I can easily pick them up at the different art shows that I attend to display my art.
yes.
So no, you can't always pick these up all over the place. But more and more, even Joanne and Hobby Lobby, more and more stores have African fabric. Might not be a wide range,
Okay.
but they are getting more and more in.
Okay. Well, then maybe I
Yeah.
need to head over to Joanne's and see what they've got these days. Because last time I looked,
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I did buy a couple pieces from Joanne a while ago,
yeah,
and you know who has a few pieces? The Hobby Lobby.
really.
Yes,
Good to
yes,
know. Good to
yes.
know. Well, before I was a busy business owner, I did do some sewing and crafting myself. So I know I always like to do little things like that. So, Sonia, what are the techniques that you use, while you're creating your shadow box?
Well, first, I get my materials locally. I'll pick up like boards from the well, I like to go to Lowe's. I go to Lowe's and I pick up my boards
Hmm.
and I pick up anchors that will help me to hold the boards together because this is something you have to be very careful about because you want something that will not just fall apart on you because
Right.
some of the figurines or the carvings that are encased within are quite heavy.
Okay. Yep.
Yes, so I'm good with the glue gun, let me tell you. So that after I wrap the boards, I then use the glue gun and burn myself a couple of times, but in the end, I get it done. And then I use anchors to
Okay.
anchor around the edges to keep it together, and and put the fabric in. And I have to measure it first because it depends what frame I like. So once I know I have to know the size of the frame I'm putting it in, 8 by 10, 11 by 14,
Hmm.
24 by 36, big frames. But as
Okay.
long as I know the frame size, I can make whatever size, whatever is needed. And I do custom work,
Yes, you
you know?
do. Yes, you do. And it's not all African masks. I mean, I obviously, the
Yes,
African statuettes, we saw the elephant. I've seen African masks, but I've also seen now I hate to say this. I shouldn't say I hate to say it, but I'm kind of like a little musician. So, I play the piano, but and I read music. When I saw one piece of yours, I was blown away, and so is Damon John from
yes,
Shark Tank.
yes, he
I was
was.
blown
Yes, he
away.
was.
That was
I was
awesome.
Well, in fact, not I. We were fortunate enough because we were both at the same event
Yes.
to meet Damon John at Kalahari
Hmm.
in PA.
Hmm.
And I when I went to take my picture, I know I only had like 3 to 5 seconds to get his attention. And I said, Mr. John, would you look at my artwork? He said, where is it? I said, it's right outside the door. So they had me bring in one piece, and I brought in a piece with a trumpet. I had made a full-size trumpet and encased it in a shadow box where the fabric was music fabric
Yes.
in a black and silver frame, and that went over really well. He said it was absolutely gorgeous. He said, "Can I call you for if I want some pieces?" I'm still waiting,
You're
okay?
still waiting for that
I'm
phone call.
still waiting for a phone
I,
call.
th-
But he was very kind. And, he said to me one thing that I wasn't doing. He said, "You have a certificate of authenticity." He said, "Start signing inside the frames on the fabric. Start putting
yes.
your signature inside." And I said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's great advice
Yeah,
from the man himself.
the man himself, you live and you learn.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, this show is called "Show You the Business," and so I want to ask about your business because a lot of people say things like starving artist and that kind of thing. I believe that they don't really know how to put a business together, and I know for you, you've gone through a program with Rutgers University. Can you tell us exactly what that was all about?
Yes. I went through the Rutgers EPI program. It's for entrepreneurs.
Mm,
And let me tell you, this is where it starts. Um, I was the only startup. I was the only startup company out of 31 students. Most of the students already had a business. So I was really nervous because I didn't know a lot of the terms and what they were talking about. But, I was willing and ready to learn. And the simplest things make a difference about branding. At
mhm.
that time, if you remember, Joanne, I was
Yes.
Sonia's affordable art.
Yes, I do remember
And
that.
now, you see, I've changed. I am now
Yes.
Sonia's handcrafted art. So your name your name, branding, it's a big thing. So when you name your company, don't take it lightly. And Rutgers taught me how they taught me one thing, how to have a team. You
Okay.
need a team behind you. You cannot do everything yourself. And I found that to be very, very true. Now I have a gentleman that does my website.
Mm.
It does a wonderful job. I don't have to worry about it. Everything is in place. He also does my digital marketing. And another thing I learned there and from my friend Miss Joanne, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Believe me, I know my numbers and I know when I go over the line. And as small as my numbers may be, I know what it is and what it's not, and what it's supposed to be.
Hmm.
So that's very, very important. I've learned that through networking.
Hmm.
Um, with you, I took your QuickBooks course,
Uh-huh.
and your QuickBooks course that helped put me on the map with Rutgers because when they took us through QuickBooks, at least there was one aspect that I knew about because you taught me and taught me so she did. Okay,
You're so funny. You had
so
one thing.
yes, I did.
I
I was
love
good
it.
at that one thing. Okay, at least I'm able to go in and reconcile,
Good.
my account. So that was a great help to me. There were a few people there that didn't have QuickBooks,
Right, right, right,
and they
right.
made it mandatory for you to get it. They said if you can't do what you need to do for your business, then you don't need to be here. You can't be here. So
Okay.
people had to step up.
Wow.
So we did, and we learned so much about strategic alliances
Hmm.
and networking.
Yeah, yeah.
Network, network, network.
So let me interrupt you for a second, Sonia, and let's talk about some strategic alliances because we got some artists out there that, and I know you know a lot of people, but we have some artists out there who don't really know who to network with, what makes the most sense, and how they can actually, elevate their business with that networking and that strategic power team alliance. Tell us who who helps you? What are your strategic alliances?
My strategic alliances are with other artists.
Mm, interesting.
When I go to different shows, I
Hmm.
meet other artists, and sometimes you get a few that are kind of standoffish,
Okay.
and you'll get some that are trying to make steps like you are.
Okay.
And if you meet another artist and that artist has a website,
Hmm.
it's good to make an alliance so that you can sell on each other's website.
Hmm.
You're reaching different people. You're not reaching out always to the same market target audience.
Right.
So you'll get other people seeing your art on their website. You get people seeing their art on your website, and that's where the drop shipping method comes in.
Ooh.
Because they will want to buy something that they see on the website, and if you're smart, you'll when you ally with another artist,
Mm.
you might get 10% of the sale. They might receive 10% or 15 or whatever agreement you come to of your sale. So
Hmm.
when somebody sees something on my website and they want to purchase that, what happens is the information will come to me on that website. They'll pay and purchase, and I'll take my 10% and then send the rest of the money to the other artist, and they will ship the product to
Interesting.
the customer. And that takes a lot off your hands.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but you're reaching different target audiences, and from there you will. you should reach out to galleries,
Mm,
wineries, anywhere that hangs art, and they hang art for sale.
wow.
The library,
Yes.
they hang art for sale. And you will find that you leave business cards with your art and people will contact you.
Yes. Yes.
And I just went from there and networking, going to different events because you and I are both members of BNI and the chambers. And
That's true.
there was a chambers event at Northampton College, which was only what, 12 minutes from me.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
I was making every excuse not to go. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I have things to do. But I did go. And when I went there, I received a 3.5 minute video, which was aired on the George Roberts show 20 times. And they
Wow.
sent me that 3.5 minute clip. That is now a part of my website.
Wow.
So sometimes, and these are free mixes.
Yes, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, getting out there is
Yeah,
the only way, in my opinion, you are going to get noticed. It's the only way you're going to really do any real business. So a lot of times I find with business owners, whether they're artists or anything else, they think the work happens just, in the office. They put their head down, they do the work, and they don't know or understand why other people aren't buying from them. But meanwhile, someone like you and myself as well, we get out there,
yeah,
and the more we do, the more we open ourselves up to opportunities out there. So that's a great example of having an opportunity because the person that you mentioned, the production company that you mentioned, George Roberts, he's very, he's local. These are the people within your reach, but
yes,
he has a TV show that's locally aired, and I'm pretty sure he also airs on YouTube as well as I do. Is
he
that
does.
correct?
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
So
And
he
my
has.
neighbor, my
Mhm.
neighbor said to me, Sonia, you're a superstar. Okay, and that was my neighbor. And you think that people don't watch these local shows, but they do.
Oh, they do. Sunday
They
morning.
do.
I'm telling you right now, me
It's
and
not the
George,
thing.
we got
They
our cups
do.
of coffee and we are watching the local programs. So absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
social media.
Yep.
I didn't know anything about social media. We have a wonderful social media person in our group, Miss Chantel David.
Yes.
And she she always tells me, Sonia, when you go to the shows, take pictures of people with your artwork.
Yes.
And my LinkedIn person, Melinda says, Sonia, don't only take pictures now. Now you need to start taking videos of people that say that they like your art when they buy it. Do videos. And believe me, I get more reaction to a video than just putting a picture on social media.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
you should see me trying to make a video, my own video. It takes half the morning and it's only 20 seconds, okay? But that's what I do because people need to start knowing who I am.
Now you bring up a good point. And since I am a 10x certified business coach and mentor, and I say I'm a 10x problem solver.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm going to give you a little tip, and I'm giving our audience a little tip too about social media and doing our own video. And that is, it's very authentic. You're someone who you are a perfectionist, Sonia, and you know you are, and it's probably because you're an artist. You are a perfectionist.
why,
But
thank you.
but those videos don't need to be perfect. You know what I'm
No,
saying? So they should just do one shot.
just
You're
do it.
you're going to get better and better as time goes on, right? I,
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
just get it done. If it's a 20 second, you got other things to do besides sit here, look at
Well,
yourself for, half the
Joanne, if
day.
you see that video, you'd be like, no, Sonia, take another shot.
Try
You'd
again.
be like,
Try again. Well, that's my little tip. Don't do all
thank
of that.
you, thank
People,
you. But
people
yes, but
appreciate the real you. Go
yes,
ahead.
they want to see somebody that's someone that's authentic.
Yes,
They don't want to see pretentious people. They want
correct.
to see you in your state, and they can relate to you. They can relate.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so yes, I'm doing my videos, and I'm getting I'm more and more people are watching. So I just have to keep plodding along, and just keep making things happen.
Absolutely. Now, when do you even find time to do your artwork, Sonia? Because you are everywhere. Every place I go, I find you.
Yes,
Where's
yes.
Sonia?
I don't know, because when I'm home,
Uh-huh.
it I'm so excited to do a piece, because when I see a piece, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be beautiful. I want to see it done. So usually, like after I'm finished here, I'm gonna go and cut out a few things. I've already gone on LinkedIn and did my notifications. I've done 2 podcasts now. I've done BNI this morning. I went outside with my electric saw, and cut up some pieces that I need for my artwork. All this has been done this morning.
Wow.
And I think it's because I enjoy what I do.
Okay.
And that makes all the difference. If you do not enjoy what you do, you won't want to do it. You'll be lazy to do it. But I'm so excited all the time. So I'm excited to see pieces done. And the biggest joy is the look on people's face when they see my art.
Yes.
Um, I will tell you something that I learned. Know your target audience.
Mm,
I used to do only African American shows because I had African American pieces.
yes.
Last year, I went to Art Fest in PA,
Mm,
in Harrisburg, and it was 98% Caucasian,
okay.
and they bought me out.
I bet.
People of different cultures appreciate artwork, and they buy artwork from all around the world.
Yes.
Artwork is appreciated. So if that is what you do, take a step out of your comfort zone, and see what it brings to you. Because I realize, even when I go to the jazz festivals, they're 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
They're mixed with everybody. And when people like what you have, it doesn't matter where you come from, where it comes from. They like and appreciate what you have. So step out of your comfort zone and find your target audience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Most of the time when I see, I mean, people's tastes in art are all different. And it has a lot to do, I believe, with all of our different experiences. So from someone like you who's traveled the world, there are other people who have traveled as well and
Yes.
seen beautiful items, and you're giving them a taste of those beautiful items and then making it a little more authentic with your shadow box technique. And I think that that's wonderful. I've also seen in your shadow boxes that you actually, or in your artwork, you also put some of the figurines on the outside of the frame. Can you
Yes,
tell us
I
about
do.
that? What is that? I love that.
That's something that I call flat art.
Okay.
And it sells extremely well. And I
Absolutely.
believe the reason I might not have a picture of it is because I've sold every piece.
Yes.
They um they they also range in price. They're not usually as expensive as a shadow box.
Really?
No, because they're a little easier for me to make. I'm not making a box.
I see.
I'm attaching it to the front, you
Okay.
know, and I use like maybe a plexiglass. It's easy, it's easier work. But people that and also it depends on your venue, where you're going, where you're showing your art. As I told you, know your target market audience.
Yes.
If it's a community that's maybe not as affluent as some of the communities you go to, then you need to adjust
Hmm.
you know you not really adjust your prices, but you what you bring to that venue.
Okay.
Yeah, because
That's a good.
people like nice things, and they really want to, excuse me, they really want to support you. So I find that these flat art, they are beautiful. Make no mistake, they are absolutely gorgeous. And it it allows people to decorate their home with something that they like, something from their heritage.
Yes.
And it makes people proud when they do that. It gives them a feeling of pride. And
Yes.
I am glad to be able to bestow that on a customer. So, but then I do have some other flat art that I'm embellishing now. I'm because
Oh,
I learned as I go along. I have,
yes.
yeah, really big, beautiful pieces. So, the shadow boxes are the same. There's some small pieces and they get bigger. It depends where the old mind takes me, you know?
Uh-huh. Absolutely. That's great. That's great, Sonia. Well, why don't you tell the audience how they can find you? Where are you located? What is your website? All of that.
Okay. I have a showroom in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, 710 Phillips Street in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, 18360.
Very
The
good.
phone number is 570-249-6699. And my website is soniasart.net. You can also find my website on soniashandcraftedart.com. And it's Sonia with an I.
There you go. And I'm definitely going to have all of your information in our show notes for those of you listeners who are driving right now and can't write it all down. So you can come back and take a look at that. So, Sonia, it is such a pleasure as always talking to you. I'd love for you to give a takeaway to, someone who is trying to get into the business of art and really needs something, from you. They might be struggling. They may not have gotten the lessons that you've gotten. What's a good takeaway? What would you give them?
Um, I I started off. What helped me was joining the chambers and the BNI group, because that way I was amongst professionals and it made me want to be a professional. Also, if you can, take a course. The Rutgers EPI course, I think they only charge around $600. You get a business coach and a finance coach, and that they teach you everything. They have lawyers, they have they teach you about branding, your name, they teach you about finances, and it is a great start. And you may not have a lot of money. And Joanne didn't tell you, I was the only startup group in the Rutgers program. And at the end of the program, I was a recipient of the $5,000 presentation grant. So they offer grants. Take advantage of grants. Don't say that I'll never get it. Call your local offices. Call the SBDC. That's number one. The Small Business Development Center in your area.
Mhm.
Call them. They are a wealth of knowledge. And through the SBDC, I received a second grant,
Good.
art grant. So yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing
Yes,
it. So,
yes, you are. Yes, you are. And that brings us to a quote from my mentor, Grant Cardone, because what you just said, Sonia, it makes so much sense. I coach a lot of people who don't really do as much as you do, and they want to succeed, but they don't know or don't realize that, you need to put a lot more work into it. And what Grant Cardone says is success happens because of you, not to you. So we're going to leave with that. I want our audience, thank you so much for joining us today. Make it a 10X day. This episode is sponsored by Day One Accounting, because you got to start somewhere, so start with Day One. And by Grant Cardone's 10X Certified Business Coach Program. Let's 10X your revenue by 30 to 40% in 90 days.